Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. PIERS MORGAN: if Harry and Meghan don't want negative press, they should stop behaving like whiny spoiled brats and do their damn duty. And they can start by spending Christmas with the Queen. Another day, another Harry and Meghan PR disaster. News: the Duke and Duchess of Sussex won't be attending the Queen's traditional family Christmas celebrations up at her Sandringham home has inevitably ignited another firestorm of negative headlines. And doubtless they will view these with the same blind, indignant fury they view any unfavorable media coverage. Harry and Meghan don't just dislike being criticized, they don't believe they should be criticized. Barely a week goes by now without them filing lawsuits, attacking press freedom, weeping TV tears about the dreadful intrusion that they have to endure, or firing off angry directives to newspapers. And if anyone does dare to criticize them, they are instantly branded a bully or racist. Harry and Meghan have become full-time professional victims and want the world to know it. Yet, increasingly, I fear the world is looking on at the royal family's most self-absorbed and entitled couple and thinking, oh, get a bloody grip. It is perfectly true that Harry and Meghan have received a lot of criticism this year after enjoying relentless praise during their engagement and marriage. But it's also true that they have brought it all on themselves. For most of 2019, they have behaved in a way that any half-decent professional media advisor could have warned them without hideous backfire. First, back in February, Meghan presented prostitutes with horribly patronizing and inappropriate, empowering bananas carrying handwritten messages like, "You are strong." Then came her absurdly over-the-top $500,000 celebrity-fueled baby shower in New York, which took place at the exact same time as she and Harry posted a tweet demanding we all do more to combat poverty. When their baby Archie arrived in May, they acted in a ridiculously secretive way, hiding even basic details of their newborn son's birth and refusing to do the normal hospital doorstep press photo. All this while they were merely spending $3 million of taxpayer money refurbishing their luxury home Frogmore Cottage in Windsor. In June, Meghan's security team stopped people taking photos of her at the Wimbledon tennis tournament to protect her privacy, at the same time as she was secretly planning her self-promotional guest editorship of British Vogue magazine. Then, despite being the only American member of the royal family, she deliberately snubbed President Trump's state visit, yet appeared at the Queen's birthday celebration 2 days later. In August, Harry and Meghan lectured us about the need for everyone to take personal ownership of their carbon footprint, then promptly hopped on private jets to and from Elton John's home in the south of France. This was as hypocritical as their constant preaching about empathy, whilst Meghan has disowned her own distraught father Thomas, just as she's also disowned myriad family and friends since landing her handsome rich prince. But it was the couple's recent royal trip to South Africa that was to prove to be the catalyst for a full-blown sulky meltdown of epic proportions. It was supposed to be the tour that got the Sussexes back on track after their tricky year, and for the first week it was very successfully achieving that aim. They did their duty well and were anonymously praised by the media for it. Then, before it had finished, came the bombshell double whammy of Meghan's lawsuit against the Mail on Sunday newspaper for publishing a letter from her to her father Thomas that he had given the paper, accompanied by a raging and hysterically emotional personal attack on the press by Harry that effectively declared all-out war. This baffling act of PR self-harm had the disastrous effect of instantly converting all the positive media coverage of the South African tour into gigantic negative coverage. Things got worse when a documentary of the tour was later broadcast, containing yet more tearfully self-indulgent moaning about media intrusion from the pair of them. It was inexplicably devoid of self-awareness that they could spend 10 days in South Africa meeting some of the most impoverished, damaged and vulnerable people in the world, then use a film about the trip to whine about their struggle to exist as privileged multimillionaire royals. Can you imagine how this entitled must have sounded to the abused township women they met who've survived horrific domestic violence and worry every day about how to put food on the table for their kids? But that's the problem with the modern-day snowflake victimhood culture that Harry and Meghan personify. Once it takes a grip, all sense of perspective flies out of the spoke, woke me window. The documentary also featured Harry sensationally confirming his rift with his brother William, ensuring that his huge revelation eclipsed any coverage of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's own big tour of Pakistan. The royals have a golden rule of never doing anything to overshadow each other's royal tours, but Harry and Meghan deliberately chose to take a wrecking ball to that rule. That was selfish and stupid. It was also exposed the real problem with the Sussexes, that in their desperation to be perceived as victims, they seem to have forgotten what it actually means to be a member of the royal family, or have any concept of the duty that goes with being funded by the taxpayer. It's actually quite simple to be a successful royal. Just look at the Queen, who never puts a regal foot wrong and is universally respected. Her Majesty understands very clearly that the monarchy only survives if it retains the goodwill and support of the public. That's why she doesn't lecture us, hector us, whine about us, or even take us for granted. The Queen, like her mother before her, does her duty selflessly and without complaint, and we love her for it. By contrast, Harry and Meghan seem determined to do things their way, however much damage it causes, and however isolated it makes them. They knew the Queen's family Christmas was a perfect opportunity to end the year on a good note, mending broken fences with the Cambridges and spending time with Her Majesty at a time when she and her husband, Prince Philip, are nearing the end of their long and remarkable lives. They also knew that all media eyes would be on them to see what they would do, particularly given they skipped another trip in the summer to see the Queen at Balmoral, preferring to holiday with Sir Elton. So, what do they decide? Do they do the one thing guaranteed to generate yet more negativity? They announce they're not going. And frankly, once again, they deserve all the flack they're now getting. Harry and Meghan can bleat all they like about the ghastly press and line up all their celebrity friends from George Clooney to Hillary Clinton to defend them. But that won't change the cold hard truth that the press has rightly praised them when they've behaved like proper royals and has rightly castigated them when they've behaved like jumped up, whiny, spoiled, hypocritical celebrity brats. And for most of 2019, whether they wish to admit it to themselves or not, they've been the latter. So my advice to them, which they will obviously ignore, is to stop complaining, remember who pays for your lavish royal lifestyle, and do your damn duty, starting by reversing your decision to snub the Queen at Christmas. Thank you so much for joining us, and see you again next time. Bye!